Great. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the episode of Connecting with Jack Su. This is episode number 18, and my name is Sam. I'm the founder of Connecting with Confidence, and I'll be the interviewer interviewing Jack. How's it going today, Jack?
Pretty good. What about yourself, Sam?
Yeah, I'm alright. Can't complain. Just having a bit of a break for a long weekend, Labor Day. It's always good to have a public holiday. How about yourself, Jack? How was your long weekend? What did you do?
My long weekend is pretty much. I had a fashion show earlier during the weekend, which was
Yeah,
fun. Got to
yeah,
meet people there, connected with a lot of people there,
yeah,
and then Sunday just chilled on Sunday. Just wanna get rid of everyone and just me,
yeah,
myself, and I sort
yeah,
of episode in
yeah.
my life. And then today, another one of those days where I'll just chill and do a bit of work on my own business, and yeah, just make life feel great.
Ah, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So today's another working day for you, or today is actually
Uh,
your day?
Today is actually supposed to be it's a me time day, sort of. But we're here now, which is great. We're making the best use of our time, and yeah, which is awesome.
So that's great. So what did you do? So what was the fashion show about that you went to?
It's about mental health. So it's called Miss Auto Elegance.
Uh,
Uh, yeah, and so it's basically a fashion show, and all the proceeds of the show will go towards mental health, which is what a lot of people are suffering during the COVID-19, and
yeah,
that's something that I resonate with a lot because like a lot of people around us lost our jobs, and a lot of businesses are struggling. So I think it's a very good cause to actually be conscious of people that are struggling uh, with their careers and their well-being, and their loved ones are struggling with their health as well. And I totally resonate with that, and I feel like we are very fortunate to be here and alive and well and be able to do the things that we love to do while everyone else is sort of struggling to get by. And so like I think it's a good place to try and help each other out.
that's true. Yeah, totally. I guess when you go to charity events, it's really about giving back to
Mm,
like a cause or something like that. And
sure.
yeah, I've heard of Miss Elegance. It's kind of like a one of those shows that involves hot cars, hot models,
Mm,
and yeah, and basically yeah, it sounds like a good event.
cool.
I actually thought about going, but then didn't really get the time to go. I had a clash with something else.
That's okay. We have another one in 2 weeks time, so maybe you
Oh, really?
can
Yeah,
try again.
yeah, that's great. Cool. So, Jack, tell me a bit about your background, like where you're from, and what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, what's your hobbies and things like that?
In terms of background, we're talking about where I'm from or
Yeah,
that sort of
please.
thing. I'm from Guangzhou, China. I was born, in the mid '80s, and migrated here when I was 6 years old, and just had a really conservative sort of upbringing, and which got me into a little bit of mischief, here and there, and then I went through school, and gone to university, went through university, found a job, and then after being in a job for a while, decided to pursue a uh, endeavor in coaching because I learned quite a few things over my lifetime that like I want to share with the world, and some life lessons, maybe helping people find a way from within themselves,
Mm,
which is, and yeah, so that's what my business is about. It's about trying to guide people and into helping them make good choices for themselves, or and find out uh, the right problem to solve in their lives, and finding the right resources for those problems.
mm.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's great. So, yeah. So, tell me about your. Actually, you actually someone said tell me. I was going to ask you like, what made you trigger you to actually start your own business, your coaching business. But yeah, that's good. So let's expand on that, Jack. So I want to know more about yeah, like what made you do like start that coach? Is it kind of like a, yeah, you like a personal endeavor? You start
Hmm.
a personal endeavor, and what else like? So what do you actually teach? Who do you teach, and what made you trigger yourself into becoming like a
I'm a little bit critical about the word teach because that's not really what I do.
yeah.
Because in my the way that I see it is that a coach does not teach anything to the client. It's more like so the client usually comes to you with a problem, right? They might have problems with confidence. They might have problems with this or that or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I don't claim to be an expert at the client at that instance, right? Because at the end of the day, the solution that the client is looking for, exists within the client rather than from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense to you.
Yeah.
So if I were to say that I teach something to the client, it means that I'm sort of like taking something from the outside and making it the client's sort of thing, which is something that I'm really against because I've been doing that for many years in my life, and that is not the correct approach to get the client to have any benefit in their life by just doing things that are not really them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Totally.
So what really motivated me to do that is to share the message that you do not need to assimilate things that doesn't make you that your gut tells you that's not the right thing for me. Because like uh, there's a lot of clients or people that go out looking for coaching, looking for people that to guide them, and they place the decision of their life on the coach. Like they get the coach, so they make it so that it's the coach's responsibility to give the client results, which is not the right way to see it. The way that I see it is that you have this world where you either look at your coach as a decision maker or you look at the coach as a resource. The way that I recommend people look at the situation is that you look at the coaches or anything on the internet as resources, because at the end of the day, whether on how you use the resources is solely your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say teach, I would say I don't teach anything. I don't even claim to be a master of or expert of the craft I'm practicing or advocating out there. But like, can I help the client? And I would say absolutely.
Yeah.
I could absolutely help you, but like I'm not the master of these things. You are the master of the things that you have access to, because you have to make the decisions on what you want to do with them.
Okay. So who do you coach, Jack? If that's a better word.
Okay, so the people that I've coached before, like, are unlike any of that. Some of them are like single mothers. Some of them are like people who just sort of struggling to find purpose in their life.
Yeah.
So in terms of age range, like the ones that I've coached so far are like in between 40s and 50s. So people that are just like sort of stuck, and which sort of helped me resonate with them in ways where there were points in my life where I just felt stuck as well. And the way that I helped them is that I asked them to step back, because when you are stuck, it's because you're trying to do too much at the same time, or you're trying to force yourself to do something that you don't really want to do. So yeah. So in terms of age range, yeah, 40s to 50s, which is are the clients I have the most experience with. And in terms of industry, it varies. Like I've coached tradies, I've coached professional trainers, all sorts of different industries, just people who needed a little bit of guidance in order to, or maybe clear some clutter in order for them to see where they should be going.
Okay, that's cool. That's great. And maybe you didn't ask maybe you didn't answer this question, but what actually led you to start this business?
Okay, so when I was during my third year at my full-time job, I was in a really stressful situation because I was in a one-sided relationship with a woman who wasn't really good for me. Yeah. And then it was then that I realized that I wasn't valuing myself enough. So because of that, I started to invest more. I started to step back, invest more in myself, and eventually I broke it off with that person because I felt like I was devaluing myself. And that's how I developed this, started working towards self-love and started getting benefits out of it. I went to get some spiritual healing, some coaching for myself as well. I've invested in dating coaching, a lot of I studied NLP to help with communicating myself. And through all that, it sort of puts me in a place where the problems that people are having are related to their relationship with themselves. And I think that that is a message that I want to share with everybody. And I had no grand scheme of turning this to a massive business where I'm making lots of money and stuff. Like that wasn't really my goal. All I wanted to do was spread the word, or even make it a non-profit sort of organization, because I don't feel like it is something I should keep from people and use money as a barrier towards people. I do charge people, but not in ways that people would imagine. Like I charge people in order to keep them accountable. I don't charge them because I want to be rich and make lots of money.
Okay, that's a good one. That's cool. So long story short, you had a breakthrough upon yourself, and you want to basically you've been through experiences, and you want to see if you can help people similar along your shoes, so they can actually be inspired from.
Absolutely.
That's great. That's cool. That's great. Jack, that's actually a great initiative. So how long have you been doing it so far now, this coaching business?
So I started around 2017. So it's been 3 years since I been in the coaching business, and yeah, I've been making a lot of videos, and you never know who watches that stuff. Like I didn't really have a lot of likes at the beginning, but then later I meet people at social events, and then they recognize me right away and say, "Oh yeah, I watch all your videos. It's so good." You know, especially like the one that says like yada yada yada, and that make me feel really good, because you just don't know who watches it, and it could help someone without even knowing it. So it's really good. Yeah.
That's good. So when you say videos, are you saying live videos? And
yeah, I do Facebook Lives. I do some YouTube videos, sort of similar to what you're doing at the moment. And yeah, I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own Facebook page. I have my own. I'm really active on social media. Not so active now, as I'm sort of like thinking about some new content that I would put up that would really level up in terms of helping other people help themselves. So yeah.
That's cool. That's great. Cool. So wow. So you've already been doing this business for 3 years. I thought you actually started like not long ago, probably start of last year or something like that.
I thought so too. Oh, I wish it was that much. Then I have an excuse not to be that experienced. But yeah, cool.
Yeah. So Jack, tell me about what do you like to do outside of work? Like, what's your passions? Like, what's your hobbies?
At the moment, I'm trying to improve my Korean. So like in the Miss Elegance event, I got an opportunity to do that and made a lot of Korean friends. I didn't really have that many Korean friends to begin with, so I made a couple. So that was great. So and yeah, and I'm also practicing singing. So I've started made a separate Instagram account for all the covers that I'm doing. So and did the same with TikTok as well. So I have my TikTok and Instagram of me singing and stuff. So it's really good. And just hanging out with friends in general and meeting new people.
That's great. That's cool. So I remember you were learning Cantonese before, were you? And then now you changed to Korean.
No, I wasn't learning Cantonese. I was trying to do a coaching video in Cantonese, which was great. It was an excellent experience. I have one coming up, but it was like I realized that the subtitling was a huge struggle. It took a very long time to translate everything and turn them to subtitles. So I wasn't learning Cantonese. I know Cantonese, just that I tried to make a video in Cantonese.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Something different. That's very cool.
Mm.
Cool. All right, Jack. So this brings me to the second last question. So how do you normally build effective relationships with people? How do you build positive relationships? With your counterparts. Can you tell me your secret?
Okay, a secret. Well, as a high performance focused coach, right? And I talked about decluttering earlier, and I would say that also in terms of building relationships, because like your relationship with other people is directly correlated to your relationship with yourself. And that I think, and that has worked out for me quite well, because like there's so many things that you can do in order to improve your relationship with yourself, which also could improve your relationship with other people. The first thing is like having your own me time and doing things that you like, just like the question that you asked me, right? Like, what do I like to do in my free time? I like to sing. I like to learn languages and stuff. And by doing that, like you sort of because you have these hobbies, you can find other people that have these hobbies too, and you can talk to them. Because I'm confident with my Korean and my singing, so mingle with other people that are also confident in that. So in that sense, you're sort of like trying to find your tribe and be able to communicate that way, rather than you trying to fit in with somebody who's into fully fashion modeling and you don't have no sort of like common ground, that sort of thing. Like that's not really a good way to build confidence. Like you have to start from a place where there is actually some common ground.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So so for me, like I highly I don't recommend trying to do things that's against your gut, right? I would start with doing things where there's some common ground, and also treat yourself nice. Like if you treat yourself nice, you're basically teaching other people how to teach you. That's my ultimate message or secret in terms of connecting with people, is having an excellent relationship with yourself.
So love yourself first, and then other people will love you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, people will treat you the way you treat yourself most of the time.
That's cool. That's great. Well, thanks for the hints and advice. So Jack, that brings me to the last question. How do we actually find out more about you? What's your website, and what you active on social media, so the viewers can look up you.
Okay, cool. So in social media, it's called Jack Su. You can find me by JACK space XU. You can find me there. You'll see this guy in a red suit and bald head, and looks slightly less handsome than Sam. And you can also find me on Instagram. You can search Jack Sue Coaching there, and you can also find me on YouTube, JIE space JACK space XU, and you can also find me on TikTok as well under the same name. So I'm everywhere in terms of social media, except for Twitter. Except for Twitter and except for Twitter. I don't understand Twitter.
Twitter is a little bit more Americanized, so
yeah. I'm not Yankee enough for Twitter, so let's stick with that.
Yeah. How about your website? Did you mention your website?
Oh yeah, website. Please go to www.jack-xu.com. That you'll find me there, and I'll have some content in there very soon. It's a very new website. I haven't really put much there yet, but like I'm gonna launch it by this week, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. That's great. So yeah, Jack, you got any questions for me?
Actually, no. Actually, like having this conversation told me a whole lot about what you do, and I think it's great. And you should just keep doing what you do, and like build all these relationships that you have to build with. And yeah, originally I was kind of skeptical about what you do, but like now I sort of understand. So, but yeah, just keep soldiering on what you're doing, and one day you'll be great in the hands of the society. So yeah,
that's cool. Well said, Jack. That actually made my day. So yeah, Jack, thanks for joining this interview. So this brings me towards the end. So yeah, viewers, you know how to get to Jack. Connect with Jack. So connect with him through his website. Connect for him with his social media accounts. He doesn't bite, so he's a nice guy. So and yeah, so what are your plans for this coming week, Jack? Any plans?
Well, today is the last day of the long weekend, so the rest of the week will be a work week, followed by some karaoke, followed by some outings and some chills. And I'm looking forward to getting back to Toastmasters really soon. I'm doing my humorous contest, like my debut stand-up comedy act will be coming up soon, and I'll be posting that on Facebook too. So be awesome.
That's great. That's cool. Well, yeah, Jack, it's been nice talking to you, and this draws to the end. I wish I could speak to you longer, but I guess the time has come.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, Jack, thanks for participating, and I look forward
pleasure.
to seeing you soon. And I'll let you know once this is up or live on YouTube and podcasts that I put it on for meetings. So yeah, Jack, hope you have a good one, and
peace out.
Happy long weekend.
Okay, cool.
All right, man.
Bye, guys.
Bye.